Hi and welcome to our first resilience-based session for 2020. My name's Ashleigh Oliver and I'll be taking today's session. I work in our strength training program across our Bendigo locations and out in Elmore as well. Also have involvement in our walking groups and other exercise-specific groups. Today's presentation will go for about 20 minutes. Feel free to stop and start it as you wish. Throughout the session today, we'll cover what is resilience, cognitive behavioural therapy model, the importance of resilience and being a resilient person, protective factors for resilience, social and emotional skills, and learning to be resilient. Many of you may ask, what is resilience? Resilience is the ability to cope and thrive in the face of negative events, challenges, or adversity. In simpler terms, it's having the willingness to take up positive opportunities that arise and having the capacity to bounce back from challenging situations. As you can see, the photo on your screen there has lots of different factors can come together to make you a more resilient or positive person. These include goal setting, having a positive self-esteem, learning from mistakes, having an understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, having self-control, having the willingness to overcome difficulties rather than avoiding problems, having optimistic thinking patterns, having the social skills, having the ability to recognise your own emotions and the emotions of others, and having problem-solving skills. It's not always possible to prevent or avoid stressful or adverse situations, but you can strengthen your capacity to deal with these challenges. The cognitive behavioural therapy model. The way we think influences the way we feel and what we do. The way a person thinks is proven to impact on our actions and how you feel. This model helps to change unhelpful habits of thinking, feeling, and behaving. Positive thinking can also lead to positive changes in a person's quality of life. An example of a negative thought: I can't be bothered going to exercises today. That's the thought, that's what you're thinking. Therefore, the action is not going to the exercise session. And then how does that often or possibly leave us feeling? It would leave us feeling lethargic, stiff. A positive thought might be, I'm lucky to be independent enough to live at home, to continue to do things such as exercise, gardening, cooking, cleaning. So how do you feel? This leads to a feeling of success, independence, and feeling energised. Being resilient enables you to cope better with challenging situations and helps with your mental health and well-being. How we view adversity and stress strongly affects how we succeed. This is one of the most important reasons that having a resilient mindset is so important. The good news is that even if you are not a naturally resilient person, you can learn to develop a resilient mindset and attitude. In terms of being resilient, there are a number of protective factors that have been identified which will empower an individual to be more resilient. These factors include social and emotional skills, health factors such as sleep, healthy eating, outdoor activities, having positive role models and support networks, positive thinking, mindfulness, gratitude, acts of kindness, and a good sense of who we are. We'll continue to touch on these points throughout today's presentation. Learning to be resilient. Individuals can learn to be more resilient by using the following strategies: developing awareness of body language, signals, mindfulness and attention training, and being grateful. By feeling relaxed. Recognizing the thought, feeling, behaviour pathway, known as the cognitive behavioural therapy model. Feeling like a resilient person, having support teams, helping others, and improving communication skills. Coping plans and exploring situations or solutions. Enjoying a healthy lifestyle and being prepared for challenges. Social and emotional skills. It is well recognised that there are a number of social and emotional skills that will strengthen an individual's capacity to be resilient. These include self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. It is important to recognise that all feelings are okay. It's important to accept how we're feeling and make conscious choices about how we respond to our feelings. It is important to listen to your body and learn empathy. It's important to self-regulate feelings before behaviours escalate. Self-regulation behaviours include recognising emotions, acknowledging the emotions, making a conscious decision on how to respond, and challenging our thoughts. If feelings have already escalated, self-soothing behaviours may help. Some of these behaviours include relaxation techniques and regular exercise. Next up, we're going to take a little break and do an activity. So feel free to pause the presentation or you take some time to consider the following. I want you to write down one thing that made you smile today or something that you're grateful for. It's important to be aware of these positive thoughts to help build gratefulness, mindfulness. An example might be, I'm grateful we have access to clean drinking water. Or it might have made you smile that you've got up and the sun's shining today. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is having the ability to be calm and the ability to be present. Mindfulness involves focusing on the following. Focusing on the present rather than the future, the positive rather than the negative, process rather than outcome, and being non-judgmental of ourselves, our circumstances, and our surroundings. So we've just got a little picture there. On the left, we've got mindful. That's when your mind's often full of all these thoughts, not necessarily focusing on the present, thinking of the future, having those negative thoughts. And then we've got living in the moment on the right there. So focusing on the present rather than the future, the positive rather than the negative, and the process rather than the outcome. Having a clear mind. So moving on to relaxation. Emotions such as stress and worry can negatively affect our physical and mental health. Relaxation is an excellent way of gaining control over our body, and it helps us to manage our feelings and situations more effectively. Relaxation can assist in lowering cortisol levels, along with increasing endorphin levels, which are those happy chemicals. It can also help improve our physical and mental health, improve performance and immunity. Social awareness factors include empathy, appreciating diverse perspectives, contributing to society, and understanding relationships. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It may include small acts of kindness, doing things for other people, and providing compliments. Empathy has been shown to release chemicals such as oxytocin. Gratitude involves focusing our attention on the positive things in our lives, focusing on what you already have, not what you don't have. Gratitude has been shown to increase endorphin levels within the bloodstream increase long-term health and well-being, make us nicer, more trusting and more appreciative, make us happier and more optimistic, and help increase our self-esteem. So some techniques for helping us become a more grateful person and recognising gratitude include: once again, feel free to stop and pause the presentation and have a think or write down the answers to some of the following. What are 3 things that went well for you today? Who am I most grateful for today? What is the best thing that has happened this week to me? Some people find it more empowering and positive if they keep a log of this, or a gratitude diary. So it could be as simple as writing down one thing each day that you're grateful for, or something that made you smile. It's important to reflect on these positive thoughts. An example might be, I'm grateful how I'm able to take my dog out for a walk to relax. Or I'm grateful for my friends and family for checking in on me during these unprecedented times. Positive self-talk is another one of these protective factors for building resilience. Conversations are continuously going on inside our head. They can be helpful, unhelpful, or neutral. Helpful thoughts often are our green or positive thoughts. All thoughts are okay, but it's being able to control these thoughts and feelings before our behaviours escalate. Positive self-talk techniques, having awareness of self-talk and being able to challenge our thoughts before it affects our feelings and our actions or behaviours. It's important to remember all thoughts are okay. What you do with them is important. Keep positive thoughts realistic. Helpful thoughts will make you feel better. Choosing helpful thoughts takes some practice. It's important to surround ourselves with positive role models and identify our own values, identifying those positive role models, identify our support networks, and stay connected with others. Building resilience. Think about how you've handled a difficult situation, owning our own successes, recognising and being proud of what we're great at, thinking about a time in your life when you believed in yourself and had self-confidence, and identifying your personal qualities and strengths. To empower us to cope with challenges, we can brainstorm coping strategies. These might be different for different people. There's no one size fits. Brainstorming different solutions and coming up with that step-by-step coping plan. And never be afraid to ask others for support. Resilient people have the level of confidence to say, this is not the end of the world. I will get through this. I will learn, improve, and develop as a result of this. Bringing us back to the slide that we viewed earlier in the presentation. Think about the strategies that you can put in place to develop a resilient mindset and attitude. It's important to practice these skills regularly. We've developed a list of useful apps that may assist you in developing a resilient mindset and dealing with challenges that we all may face. If you have any questions, there's a few things you can do. You can write these down, make a list, and ask at your next review or telehealth consultation. If you'd like, you can also email us your questions. We may be happy to answer them personally, or in our next newsletter to benefit everyone. You can email your questions to us at BCHS Physical Activity Programs @bchs.com.au. We're always happy to answer your questions and help where possible. We've compiled a list of resources that we found helpful in developing this presentation. Feel free to check them out for yourself for further information. And finally, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch today's presentation. We hope you've been able to learn something and some strategies that may help you in becoming a more resilient person to strengthen your capacity to deal with some of the challenges that we're facing currently and in the future. If you have any suggestions of future presentations, feel free to mention them to us. We're always willing to assist where possible.